familiar. So if you don't know by now, then you should probably get familiar.
Hey YouTube, my name's Paul, and I'm back again on Jinzo&Tonic's channel with another GOAT format deck profile. Today I'm going to be showcasing my Gravekeeper Warrior Toolbox deck. Shout out to Jinzo&Tonic for letting me do these deck profiles. This one's a lot of fun. I've been working on this deck for a really long time. It's not amazing, but it's got some really, really good matchups, and I actually do think it has a lot of potential. My one problem with decks like these is they don't have a lot of like super great comebacks, so you got to make sure that you play Protect the Castle with cards like Gravekeeper Spy. So let's get right on into it. Starting off, we got 3 Gravekeeper Spy. Card's huge. People have a really hard time outing this card sometimes, so you want to make sure that you protect this at like all costs. Use a Solemn over this card if you have to. You got 2 Spear Soldier and 1 Guard and 1 Assailant. I am playing Necro Valley in this deck, but I want to not rely super heavy on these guys. These are just kind of like a little package. It's not really what I focus my entire deck around. I just think that these guys are all pretty useful by themselves. Necro Valley is a really good floodgate, so just in conjunction with these guys it makes them pretty decent, but I don't want to commit my entire strategy to those dudes. For the warriors, we have 1 Warrior Lady, 2 DD Assailant, 1 Blade Knight, 1 Donzalug, and 1 Exiled Force. Just a pretty standard little warrior package. The Warrior Lady and the Assailants for spot removal. The Blade Knight I like in here because it's got like the fact that you can kind of continuously oppress with this card is really good. This is like a one and done type deal. You play Necro Valley, so you don't have any graveyard recursion. When you use the Exiled Force, you use it. This, you only get like, you'll get a couple shots in with this if you're lucky, but like typically you're only gonna get 1 shot in with this. The Blade Knight's just really oppressive by itself, and it kind of forces your opponent to make plays that they don't want to make. And then for the last 2 monsters, we just have Breaker the Magical Warrior and Tribe Infecting Virus for just random removal. 2 cards that, in my opinion, are just too good not to play. For the spells, we have 3 Necro Valleys and 1 Terraforming. Terraforming starts the Necro Valleys, and the Necro Valley is really good against a lot of decks. It's not amazing against standard GOAT, but it does shut off important cards like Magician of Faith, Call the Haunted, Premature Burial. With Necro Valley, you want to commit this card to the board as soon as possible. It's one of those cards where if they have heavy, they have heavy, and if they waste the heavy on a field with a Necro Valley on it, then sometimes that's not the worst. Heavy Storm does really hurt decks that play field spells, but sometimes if you just got the Solemn to back it up, this card is just so good, and you would rather have it on the field sooner than later. If it gets too late, then it's just completely useless, so you basically just want to commit this card as soon as you see it. Next up, we have 3 Book of Moons. I think that 3 is really good in this deck, especially because it lets you recycle your Spy, recycle your Guard. There's not a lot of recyclability in this deck, and I don't really love Tsukiyomi, so I'd just rather play the Book of Moons. 2 Noblemen of Crossouts, spot removal, 2 Rhodas to help you search your spot removals and stuff like that. Pot of Greed, Graceful Charity, and Delinquent Duo, the Trinity. And then we have Snatch Steal and Mystical Space Typhoon for the rest of the spells. I side Heavy Storm. I don't main it. It conflicts with the Necro Valley, and I also play a lot of traps, so I don't want to be heavy storming a field full of my own traps. 3 Compulsory Evacuation device. This card is amazing. This card helps protect your spies from cards like No One to Cross Out, cards like Exiled Force, cards like Thousand Eyes Restrict. This out's a Thousand Eyes Restrict by itself. And then sometimes it just forces them to go back a turn if you compulse a flip monster back to their hands. This card has a lot of use, and for that reason I like to max out on it, because it makes me feel really safe when I have this card in play. 3 Solemn Judgments. Your life matters a lot in GOAT, but this is just one of those cards that helps protect you. Like, there have been instances where I've paid 4,000 life points over a spy and it ended up winning me the game. So don't hesitate to use Solemn Judgment if it's at the right time, because that life's not going to matter if things spiral out of control. And then for the rest of the traps, just 1 Torrent, 1 Ring of Destruction, and 1 Mirror Force for the staples. Next up for the side deck, we have 2 Mobius the Frost Monarch. I don't want to play Jinzo because my traps are too good. 2 Kaiku the Ghost Destroyer, just extra oppression. Having this and the Necro Valley is just really good against Chaos. Chaos has a really hard time against this deck, and this just makes it an even harder time. 2 Mystic Swordsman level 2. This card's amazing. This is the other kind of logic with Blade Knight. You want to be able to oppress them really hard with cards like this, and the fact that you can use it over and over again if it survives is really good. And then 1 Green Kappa, because it is spell and trap removal that you can actually search with Rhoda, and I think that's really good. 1 Heavy Storm is the only spell I'm playing in the side deck, and then 3 Trap Dust Shoots and 3 Threatening Roars for the side deck traps. These are just really good to substitute for either the Solemn package and the Compulse package. This is not really a card that I want to have in my Game 1 deck, because it's not particularly amazing if you're from like too much from behind. This deck doesn't generate a lot of advantage, so even though the Dust Shoot is like really good in a lot of instances, it's still a card that I would just rather know what I'm up against when I put it in. And then the Threatening Roar just to stop OTKs and sometimes just protect your monsters from random threats. So yeah, that is my Gravekeeper Warrior deck profile. Thanks so much for watching, and if you have any suggestions, any comments, just leave them down below, and hopefully I will see you guys again soon. Peace out.